Test, test. Test, test. 1, 2. Microphone check. Microphone check. Guys, we had a little bit of a technical problem today because I had scheduled the stream, but it was this wrong stream key. Don't worry about it, okay? One of these days we're gonna figure out these technical problems. But the intro at least wasn't that long. Sometimes I will do like a 5-minute intro and then realize I don't have the mic turned on. So that's completely my fault. But the mic is working now, plugged in, and we're ready to rock and roll. What I was saying is, and here's 2 break points for Iga right off the bat. Half court forehand error off a very easy high ball. What I was saying is that Iga has shown some exceptional tennis in the first 2 matches here. And I got her going through this one. I do believe Iga is going to find her best tennis very soon. Don't think this is the new Iga. Or this is new Iga, but new Iga is not here to stay. We're going to get old Iga back. Mark my words. It's just a little slump she's on, but she's going to be back. I actually expect this to be quite dominant, to be really honest with you. And the 2 players I got my eyes on for this North American hardcore swing are Swiatek and Goff. Of course, Iala is making headlines, no doubt about it. There's Iga with the break. Exceptional first game. Nice down the line backhand, putting pressure on Kostyuk, and then that heavy forehand into the backhand corner. Marta can't get to it. Break for Iga. Of course, Iala has caused, making a lot of headlines, and she's certainly going to keep rising and keep playing well. But I'm talking about like big title winners. I got a gut feeling that we're going to see Goff and Swiatek do well. But look, it's still early. This is the first big tournament. We got one more coming up, Cincinnati, and then US Open. So we shall see. But certainly, the WTA is so exciting right now. So many different stories. To me, it's an absolute blockbuster. I'm not quite sure why they didn't put this at night. It's an absolute blockbuster, this match. Are you kidding me? So we're going to clip the mic and you're going to see the volume go down a little bit, but don't be alarmed. There's a backhand error from Iga, love 15. Looks like a cloudy day today in Toronto. So the heat potentially might not be that much of a factor. You guys, if you're just tuning in, follow the Night Putts advice and make sure you subscribe to Intuitive Tennis. Make sure you like this live stream. Let's get it out there. I gotta keep saying this in the beginning because I don't do any of that. I need to tell you guys, remind you to like. Liking is key. And also subscribing if you haven't yet. And here's 15 all. You guys trying to take up a break. Whoa. Wow. Marta clocked that return. Iala style. That thing was an absolute ripper. Down the line forehand return winner. Ice cold for Marta right there. 15-30. Iga overhits her forehand. And it's 15-40. 2 chances to break right back for Marta. And there's a break for Kostyuk. Some very aggressive shots from Marta. Power. The issue for Marta has been in the past ups and downs. And in these ups and downs, the error count goes up. Now, we've seen far less of that, because like I said in the beginning, Marta is having the season of her career, playing the best tennis of her life. There's far less errors, there's far more consistent play. Now, if you guys remember, at Roland Garros, Marta beat Iga. Whoa, what a return by Iga. Wow, she really got out of the way there. She got a body serve, and she was able to get it back in play. And a nice little cross-court forehand drop shot from Kostyuk, 15-love. At Roland Garros, round of 16, Marta was able to beat Iga 5-1. That was a huge win. Marta then lost in the semis to Andreeva, if I remember correctly. And prior to that, Iga had dominated in their head-to-head. I mean, if you take a look at these results, in 24, Iga beat her 2-2 in Cincinnati, and 24 at Indian Wells, she beat her 2-1. And Roland Garros, 21, Iga beat her 3-4. So 26 Iga different from 24 Iga or even before that. You know, this is the new Iga. This is the Iga we don't want to see. We want to see old Iga, the one that can become the greatest clay court player in the history of tennis. And, you know, top Chris Evert, who has 7 Roland Garros titles. Iga has 4. I really thought she was going to break that record, but now there are doubts there because Iga is in a very difficult stage of her career. And I've made many videos on Iga's issues on the court. And Iga is 15-30 here on the Kostyuk serve opportunity. And it's simple. It's simply, I can tell you, it's like it's a loss of identity. It's what she was so great at that has to some extent gone away, meaning that she's able to make the opponent work. She's a grinder, she's a fighter, you know, she's the female Rafa. It's turned into a lot of unforced errors, some weird results, some inexplicable matches and there's a backhand that's overhit by Kostyuk. And it's 15-40. It's a break festival here early. Back to Iga. Loss of identity, where she just can't keep the ball in play. It's wild errors, also shot selection, tactical confusion, where she tries to look for the line on the very first shot in the rally and just making a lot of errors. So that has been interesting to watch because that's not how Iga became this incredible champion, one of the greatest players of all time already. And I do believe she can get back to that. A lot of it, I think, is mental. You know, the Iga breaks. It's up 2-1, 3 breaks so far. So, I see like how can I say? She almost looks hectic to me sometimes. You know, I'm the coach that places great importance on intensity footwork, because without that, you can kiss tennis goodbye. That's the most important thing. Without the legs, you can forget tennis. However, there is a situation where you can do too much footwork, unnecessary, where now this involves your stroke in a negative way, where you don't get to set your feet properly, and you're out of balance in your stroke, and you're moving too much. I've seen some of that from Iga. Made a video about that particular footwork issue last year after her Madrid tournament. So, again, this is all mental. She doesn't appear like steady on the court, calm, but I think all that can come back. It's all about winning. as crazy as that sounds. I thought the Wimbledon title would have solved all these issues. It hasn't. It hasn't, but I do think that old Iga can come back. Now, there's a lot of doubters and naysayers when it comes to Iga. There's a lot of trolling. And some of it comes with the territory. I mean, even Alcaraz and Sinner are not immune from that. Djokovic isn't either. Nadal wasn't. Even Federer, to a small extent, wasn't either, although he's much beloved. So that comes with the territory. When you're the best, some people are just going to hate on you, but a lot of it has been overblown, exaggerated. It's been ridiculous in regards to Iga. It's not that tennis has passed her by. That's the most common thing I read. Tennis has passed Iga by. These players have played so different now, she has no chance. Nonsense. Tennis has not passed her by. What are you talking about? She won Wimbledon in 25, won the Roland Garros in 24. What are you talking about? Of course, there's the next gen that's coming. They're very strong, and Iga has lost to Yala a couple of times. But she's still there and still capable, and I do believe she's going to get back to her top level. I do believe it. We shall see, though. It might take a little while. It might not be something that happens this year even, but she's too good of a player to not find her old form. Trust me. And even if you look at Nadal, for example, or even Djokovic, they had a couple of bad seasons. A lot of people have forgotten about them, but they had a couple of bad seasons with sketchy results, up and down form, early exits at Grand Slam tournaments and important tournaments. So again, this is part of being a great champion. It's impossible to win everything and just continue to be dominant. There are naturally going to be ups and downs, and Iga's got to make it through this down. But right now, in this particular match, there's a problem with holding serve. Love 30 on the Swiatek serve. We had no hold of serve so far. And it's love 40. It's the festival of the breaks here, guys. Again, like I said in the beginning, I don't know what the reason is for 12:30 start time for this match, because I think this is a blockbuster. Are you kidding me? Swiatek, Kostyuk? And I know there's a lot of great matches, other great matches lined up, but come on. This to me is a night match. 2 night matches, one of them should have been this one. And there's a clean forehand return winner from Kostyuk, and she breaks Swiatek to love. Okay, now it's fitting, since she got broken to love, let's discuss the Iga serve. And in a second here, on the next changeover, I'm going to link my analysis of the Swiatek serve that's like from 2024, I think, or maybe even 2023. No, I think it's 2024, and it's still valid. Iga unnecessarily has completely messed up her rhythm on the serve. It's just like Bencic has, and she does. Both Bencic and Swiatek have what I call a reverse lag, which is something that works. Like if you're doing a recalibration, or if you're fixing things inside of your trophy area, it can work. It can also work for beginners. It's definitely a legitimate teaching tool to develop the serve, but it should never be the final product, where the racket goes up into that trophy, position first and everything else happens after. It's the most ridiculous service motion ever from just a simple logical standpoint. And of course, the biomechanics don't match up either. You don't get to build up any flow, any continuity, any momentum. It's just a hacked up serve. And it makes no sense, but unfortunately, it's been so many years now with that serve. I think she's stuck with this serve. And I analyzed the old serve, and there were similar attributes there, because you can't really get rid of muscle memory in the important phases. So serve still works, and it still can be dangerous, because all that important stuff that's deeply ingrained inside the service motion is still there. But if the setup on the serve and the rhythm wasn't important, then there would be no reason for players to have a rhythm, and everybody has a rhythm, right? People would just stand up there, put the racket here, toss the ball, and serve. No, the rhythm is super important. And the syncing of the toss arm with the racket arm is super important. And I do believe that Iga has not been able to improve her serve. And this technique is only making it more difficult. So that could be one reason, in addition to this loss of consistency from the back of the court, or just tactical issues for Iga. The serve can be an issue as well. And Marta, from love 30 to 40-30. This is a big game for Marta right here. I will say, though, that the serve sometimes can be good from Iga. I thought she served really well at Wimbledon last year. But I think Iga's #1 goal should be consistency. From the back of the court, finding the way she used to play, and going back to her old service motion, which might not be possible now. I don't know. It's been so many years. She's already automated this new one. She might not be able to get back to the old one. I don't know. But it's just, you know, same with Bencic. Bencic had a nice serve before, and now you take a look at her serve. It's not good. It's similar to Iga. It still works though, because again, the mechanics are deeply ingrained, but the rhythm's been ruined, and that can't help. That's a beautiful point for Iga there, and she brings it to deuce. Iga, one of the best swing volleys. Yeah, I'll do a poll. Keydon, yeah, hold on. Beautiful forehand from Iga for a winner into the backhand corner of Kostyuk, and it's another breakpoint opportunity for Iga. Second serve from Marta. And Iga misses a backhand return. Maybe a slight miss hit there. And we're going back to deuce. Hey, Forever 21. How you doing? Guys, don't forget to hit like on this live so we can get it pushed out more, get it recommended more. Kostyuk with a big serve there, add in. Beautiful hold there from Kostyuk, and she pumps her fist. Very important game there. Save break point, and the first hold of the match. Marta is up 3-2. So tonight is going to be Anisimova against, hold on, who is it again? I forget. Anisimova against Svitolina. Thinking about doing that one. I might do it. And before that is Sabalenka, Alexandrova. I'll probably do another one today later. We'll see. Speed index of these courts, Montreal and Toronto, I don't know. That'd be good to know. It's probably medium fast. CPI 44.2 in Toronto. Plays slightly quicker than US Open in Cincinnati. Let's check Montreal. Not given. Typically between 36 and 43, so we don't know Montreal. But this one here in Toronto is supposed to be fast, like medium fast. The CPI is like this: under 30 is slow, 30 to 34 is medium slow, 35 to 39 is medium, 40 to 44 is medium fast, and above 44 is fast. They're all similar though. Iga overhits their backhand. That's one of those mistakes that's uncharacteristic from Iga. It's a backhand, she's in perfect position, and she just overhits it long. Sometimes I have the feeling like when I was watching Iga in a few matches this year that like maybe she should try a tighter string job or different strings. Maybe more control-oriented strings, or maybe even a different racket. Like my mind went to that because it's just so difficult to understand some of these mistakes because they're so uncharacteristic. And Iga in a tremendous amount of trouble on her serve. Tremendous amount of trouble. Love 30. Too much power from Kostyuk there. It's just out-hitting Iga right now. Forehand inside in. Iga squash shot. It's too short. Too high. Kostyuk with a very comfortable backhand cross-court winner. Love 30. Hi Joe 651. Good to see you in here. Eparuku is in the house. That's a monster backhand from Kostyuk. Down the line, blast for a clean winner. Iga nowhere near that. Didn't even make a move for it. Love 40. Kiran says Iga must go back to Prince rackets. I don't know if she's made any changes to the strings or the string type. I have no idea. Maybe she's playing with a new racket. Who knows? I don't know. We would have to check with the tennis nerd, but no, probably not the racket, to be really honest with you. It's just confidence related, and it's just unbelievably fast returning from Kostyuk. She's absolutely blasting the second serve from Iga, which quite frankly is not placed well. It's like landing, it's landing right here. Or let me draw with this, or put it with this here. It's landing right here. That's where the second serve is landing, on the ad side multiple times. And Kostyuk is just taking absolute blasts at that with her forehand. Iga nowhere near some of these shots from Kostyuk, and Iga unable to hold serve so far. Lost 3 service games in a row. And it's a beautiful forehand from Iga there. Love 15. Forever 25. I don't know if she changed her racket. I mean, obviously, there's like always a new paint job. Like this one came out in 25. Yeah, the T-Fight, new T-Fight came out in 25, I think. Or was it the end of 24? I don't remember now. So maybe she's probably playing with the older version of it, or a specialized version, like a pro stock or whatever. I don't know, but I just mean like, you know, I would look very hard for solutions with Iga to try to find those old feelings back. I would look very, very hard. maybe try to make her feel like she did when she was playing well. Maybe this is even goes into off-court territory, you know, of course. But something's for sure off with Iga. And Marta overhits her backhand 15-30. Cross court, she's laughing there at that mistake. 15-30. We got one hold in this match so far, and even that one hold featured a breakpoint chance for Iga, so would not be surprised if Iga breaks again right here and goes back on serve. And Kostyuk with a very easy forehand miss off a relatively short return from Iga, off a good first serve. She goes very hard inside in, overhits long, 15-40. And Iga hits a good return. She got a racket on a first serve, hit the return well. It was just a tad long. 30-40. One breakpoint chance left for Iga. Second serve, big opportunity here. Marta catches her toss. And absolutely clobbers the backhand very hard, but goes into the net, unfortunately, for Marta. And here is break number 3 for Iga. Only one hold of serve so far in this one, guys. Will Iga find a solution on her serve? Certainly she has to get first serves in, because her second serve right now is getting absolutely destroyed. And when she gets the second serve, she's going to have to place it closer to the lines and get Marta more uncomfortable on that second serve return. Chachavi says, isn't it easier to get a game on your serve? Why does this happen? Listen, sometimes this can happen. When you have big returners like this and the serves are not working, this can happen. And a lot of great returners on the WTA Tour. And sometimes there are serve issues on the WTA Tour, for sure. So, not the first time or the last time we see something like this. Guys, give me 1 second. Don't go anywhere, okay? I just got to take care of something real quick. I'll be right back, okay? 10 seconds. I mean, that's a beautiful point there from Kostyuk to break serve for the fourth time, for consecutive time that is. But not a good game from Iga. The backhand into the net. And that second point followed up by a double fault. It's tough. It's tough to watch Iga like this. Breaks back, loses serve to love. Let's see if Marta, this is going to sound weird, but let's see if Marta can hold serve for the second time in this set to win the first set 6-3. Marta is returning well. Don't get me wrong. She's returning well, but still, like Iga can find solutions on her serve to force some return errors or to get the upper hand in a rally on her serve. She's highly capable of doing that, of course. Are you kidding me? But she's returning well, though, Iga. Playing well on the Kostyuk serve. That's a beautiful point there. Nice forehand cross court, getting Kostyuk off the court, love 15. And there's a backhand error. Again, a very solid rally from Iga, love 30. Thank you, Marcus, for the super chat. I'm working on making a leaderboard for the super chat. For the super chats. I appreciate you, man. Beautiful open stance backhand pass from Iga, and it's love 40. What a match, guys. Isn't that crazy? It's a crazy match right here, but that's a very impressive backhand there from Iga. Open stance, slides into it. Big serve from Kostyuk. Big forehand into the Iga backhand. And Iga overhits her backhand. Again, uncharacteristic mistake, just slightly overhit. 15-40, one breakpoint chance left. Big serve there from Marta. She pumps her fist. 30-40. Second serve now at 30-40. Can Marta hold the second time in this set? Iga with a good return, pushes Marta back. She has a chance to be aggressive there. Short ball, two short balls from Marta. And Marta hits a backhand cross-court winner, saves the third breakpoint chance. Exceptional tennis from Marta right there. Got herself out of trouble in that rally. Iga maybe holding back on those forehands a little bit. I feel like she could have hit those a little bit harder. Like if you get a ball like right here, I feel like that's where you can attempt. Get a ball right here in the court, that's where you can attempt a winner. You can attempt to go very hard. You guys just kind of rolled the forehand. It's a big serve right there from Kostyuk. Ball goes in. A moon ball return from Iga. Down the line backhand Iga. And Marta cannot handle her forehand on the run. And it's add out. Breakpoint chance number 4. Guys, this is a crazy match. This is a crazy match, guys. All right, let's see if Iga can break again. Couple of catches on the toss from Marta. I've seen this a lot. Second serve goes in, and Iga goes hard on that backhand return, but hits it into the net. And it's back to deuce. Doesn't look like it's sunny at all, Joe. Probably not the reason why the tosses are not working for Marta. That's a big serve right there from Marta out wide, and she has set point. Happy Saturday, Monique. Half-court forehand from Kostyuk. She goes for a drop shot, and Iga overhits a very easy ball there. Goes cross-court. I would have gone down the line there. Hits it wide, and there's the second hold of the set for Kostyuk. She wins the first set 6-3. What can you say about this set from Iga? I mean, obviously Kostyuk has played well. She returned well, but this is just more of the same from Iga what we've seen in some matches this season. It's weird errors and crucial moments. Like the greatest champions, they find their best tennis when it matters the most. They're clutch. And with Iga right now, it's kind of the opposite. You know, it's, for example, break point in that last game has that very comfortable backhand return off a second serve, and she hits into the net. It's things like this. But it's just a set. I still think Iga can maybe settle into this match now and get rid of some of those unforced errors, start taking care of her serves. She has not held serve a single time in this first set. Lost her serve 4 times. I don't even know if she had game point on her serve. I don't think so. Let's look it up. I know there was a love break. Let me look that up. Okay, 15 break. First game, she got 1 point. Got another point. Hold on. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. No. Yeah, 15 break first service game. Love break second service game. Love break third service game. Love break fourth service game. Are you kidding me? You got one. Okay, this can't be. Hold on. Okay, love break at 4-3. Love break at 3-2. Love break at 2-1. And 15 break at 1 love. Iga won 1 point on her serve in the first set. She lost 3 service games to love. That's unbelievable. I've never seen something like this in professional tennis. I'll be honest with you. I've never seen stats like this. To win 1 point on your serve in an entire set at this level, and you're Iga Swiatek, what, 5-time Grand Slam champ? No, 6-time Grand Slam champ? Never seen something like this. It's unbelievable, guys. 6-time Grand Slam champ. She's got to find herself. I know Kostyuk is a great returner, but still, there's not going to be any other match in this tournament, or there hasn't been any other match in this tournament where the server only got 1 point on their serve. I don't even have to look it up. I can tell you that without even looking it up. So Iga needs to figure things out immediately. right here, first game, but she left the court. And Marta's looking relaxed. Unreal. Unreal, guys. Listen, I'm gonna tell you how it is. Like, before this match started, I don't know if you tuned in right from the beginning, I said I got Iga in this one. I said I think she's gonna win comfortably here. The thing is that with Iga, I said the same thing in Indian Wells. I made a video. I was like, old Iga is gonna come back, and there's like a compliment. No, old Grand Slam champion Iga was gonna come back after she had absolutely destroyed Muchova. And she played one of the worst end stages of a third set that I've seen from her. Maybe the worst against Svitolina, I think it was. And then she followed it up with another, such an uncharacteristic match against Lynette in Miami that she lost. So I really can't figure it out. It seems like sometimes there's some good results. There's easy score lines like Iga used to deliver, like 1-1, 1-0, 2-0. But then the game disappears. And a similar thing is happening here. She plays so well in the first 2 rounds. You know what I mean? And now, this service performance, serve performance, let's say. Look at this. She beat Sara Bejlek 0-3. Okay, Sara Bejlek is probably more comfortable. Actually, no, Sara Bejlek won a 500 on hard court, so I would have said she's like a very dangerous on clay, but she can play on hard court too. There's really no such thing as a pure clay court specialist these days anymore, both on WTA or ATP. Like, these players can perform on any surface. So Bejlek, WTA 500 champ, Iga beats her 0-3. Then Golubic, who's a nice player, Iga drops 3 games, 2-1. So it's like very solid results. And of course, Marta played really well against Madison Keys, beat her 3-1. So certainly you could have made an argument that Marta was going to take Iga out, especially since she's beaten her at Roland Garros this year in straight sets. But again, I'm shocked with the tennis that I'm seeing from Iga. So let's see if she can turn it around. In the second set, she's going to have to turn it around immediately. She's serving first. Wow, I'm stunned, guys. Let me try to see something here. Let me see something here. Is this faster? No. It's the same, actually. No difference. All right, never mind. Trying to find a fast stream. Yeah, Ruud. There's other guys like Baez, but then he played so well on hard court earlier this year. He could even say Darderi. He loves clay. There's a lot of these guys from South America that love clay courts. Certainly that's Ruud's best surface, but all these guys can play on hard. Back in the day, though, we had true clay court specialists, like true. Oh, that hurt. That hurt me to see that volley. A beautiful approach shot from Iga. Cross court, she comes in, the entire court is open, she misses a forehand volley, wide. Oh, man. Love 15. Yeah, Tartara, I talk about Iga's serve issues, yes, a lot. Kedan, I agree 100% with you. This is mental, yes. Very short second serve from Iga, short backhand, and she gets a gift from Kostyuk there, misses a half-court backhand. Iga scores the second point on her serve in the entire match. 15-all. Monique, no, because she won Wimbledon since then. You can't just win Wimbledon as a fluke. It's just specific matches. I wouldn't like make a blanket statement that Iga plays like this every match. It's just specific matches. This shows up, this game, that's unrecognizable. Too good from Kostyuk, too much power. And the serves are very carefully delivered from Iga without a lot of placement. And it's 15-30. You know, it's a 136 mile, 130, is it miles? I don't even know. 136 K. Second serve, what's that in miles? I'm trying to do a calculation there. Just as an example, there Iga gets a return error there. 136, hold on. 136 in miles. Let's see. It's 84. It's not even, that's not even that slow of a second serve, but the placement is questionable, you know? It's a lot of it is in the middle of the box for Iga. There's a beautiful play right there. It's 40-30. She got a chance to hold serve. I think she needs to place that second serve better. Make Kostyuk move on the return, not that she's like just set already and ready to blast. That was a beautiful first serve from Iga there, swing volley. And there's an easy volley conversion there from Iga into the open court, and she holds. All right, that was nice to see. That's nice to see. After that first volley in that game, this nightmare could have continued, but maybe she can turn it around right here and start settling into this match and start playing better. And you know, as crazy as this sounds, she had chances in this first set. That both of the games that Kostyuk held, Iga could have broken. Now, but you can't say that Iga could have held. She was far from holding in the first set. 3 love breaks in the first set and 1:15 break. But Iga is up there in the return category in WTA Tour, always top 5 or top 3. So she's going to give herself chances to break a lot of the Kostyuk serves. Iga tries a short little angle cross-court forehand, pass, misses it into the net. It's 15 love. Watch them hold like into the tiebreak in this set. Watch them like get like no chance for a break. Tennis sometimes it's such a crazy game. It's so difficult to figure out this game sometimes, guys. Second serve from Kostyuk. And a nice down the line forehand from Iga. Puts a lot of pressure on Kostyuk, 15-all. That's old Iga right there. It's a high percentage forehand, heavy forehand, a lot of shape. And just a nightmare for the opponent to deal with. Because even if that ball goes back, Iga sends another one heavy cross-court. And she just smothers you. And she can be unplayable, Iga, at the top of her game. Marta misses an easy forehand there off a high ball from Iga, high return. Misses it inside out, 15-30. Joe, what do you mean Musetti's injury? Is Musetti injured? I didn't know that. Is he sitting out the time? You're saying there's not going to be a one-hander in the top 10 in the history of tennis? Is that true? There's a great return from Iga there. Marta gets kind of caught, gets kind of stuck on her backhand. I don't know if she got jammed a little bit, but no rotation on that backhand. Completely jammed shot. Shanks it long. 15-40. 2 breakpoint chances for Iga to get her 4th break in this match. And Marta overhits the forehand. Iga breaks. 2-love. So the thing with Marta is, like, she's highly capable of, you know, just taking the racket out of the opponent's hand. She had so much power. She's such an incredible athlete. But stuff like this still shows up in matches where she just goes through stretches and matches where the mistake starts pouring in. This is even true nowadays. This was true in the semifinal at Roland Garros. She had stretches like this against Andreeva where there was just too many mistakes, just overhitting. So Marta can increase her level from this. And when she does, she can be so dangerous and take the biggest titles. She already has a big title in Madrid, but she can take more, including the Grand Slams. But she'll need to make that change, though, because you can't expect yourself to blast through everyone 7 matches consecutively. It's unlikely to happen. There's going to be ups and downs, and how you maneuver these ups and downs, whether you can get out of them quickly. That's been a problem for Marta throughout her career, to a less so lately, but still not completely solved this issue. And love 30 on the Swiatek serve right away. Problems. Nice serve there from Iga, 15-30. Let's not forget, though, also Marta has made a semifinal in Wimbledon. She lost to Noskova there. And it was a similar match to the Andreeva semi at Roland Garros, where, you know, at certain moments she played well in those matches, but there was a lot of stretches with too many unforced errors. Okay, Joe, but what's wrong with Musetti? You said he's got an injury. And it's 15-40. Iga just smothers a backhand into the net off the return of very central return from Marta. 15-40. Nice volley from Iga there, and she rips the overhead for a winner, 30-40. That was a beautiful point from Swiatek there. 30-40. Okay, Joe, so I don't know if he might finish top 10. Who knows? Let's wait it out, man. Let's wait it out. You never know. Certainly, I think making the ATP finals like he did last year, that's going to be tough. Top 10? I don't know. That'll be tough too, but not impossible. A backhand error from Kostyuk. That second serve was a little bit deeper in the box there from Swiatek. 2 breakpoint chances saved by Iga, 40 all. Deep forehand return from Kostyuk. Looks like she was going to come in. She didn't. Iga hits a backhand and it rolls over. Netskola. Very fortunate, and not only that, but it also catches the line by like a millimeter. Very fortunate there for Iga to get this ball to go into the court. And it's add in. Marta overhits her forehand long, and there's a hold for Iga. 2 holds in this set. And if you can make it through this, that's how you can start building confidence and giving yourself another chance to find your tennis. In the next match. It'll be very difficult, but I think it's possible for Iga to still win this one. Do you think Sinner's knee is fine? I feel like it probably is, but hard to know for sure. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just going by the things that I've read, and I don't know what it is. I'll be honest with you. It would be just speculation. He went for a checkup, but she's still scheduled for Cincinnati. They didn't say that he did indeed have an injury. They're very vague about the whole thing. Maybe it's something from before that he was getting checked out. I have no idea. But it's probably going to be okay. I saw Sinner doing sprints on the court. So it's probably nothing. I think Sinner's going to be okay. Kidon, you didn't know the Dalmatian breed is from Croatia? Dalmatia is the coastline in Croatia. That's the coastline. It's a big coastline with over 1,000 islands. It sits on the Adriatic Sea across from Italy. That's called Dalmatia. All the way from Istria, which is a peninsula, all the way to Dubrovnik, which borders Montenegro. That's Dalmatia. Although I would have to stand to correct myself. I don't think Istria is Dalmatia. My mom is listening. I apologize. Istria, which is also on the Adriatic, that's the one that's closer to, that's bordering Slovenia. It doesn't border Italy. There's Slovenia in between. Slovenia has a small piece of coast, but Italy is very close. That's not part of Dalmatia, but it's still the coastline of Croatia. Dalmatia is where I'm from, Split. And most of the islands, not all, but most of the islands, and Dubrovnik as well. $30 on the Kostyuk serve. The Italian report I read said it was from the fall in the first round of Wimbledon. Says Joe 651. Huh. Well, that's good news because that wasn't anything serious. He won Wimbledon and won 7 matches after that fall, so probably nothing serious. 40 love on the Kostyuk serve. What are your prognosis for the winner of WTA Toronto? Could Iala go till the end? Iala has some incredible roadblocks ahead of her. It's going to be very difficult. She has to beat Bencic, then potentially Goff. It's going to be brutal. This tournament is stacked. This is a brutal tournament. Nice backhand cross court from Iga there. One of the best backhands she's hit all match. 40-15. I mean, you can make an argument for a lot of these players. Maybe Anisimova can find her best tennis. She plays Svitolina. She's 1-4 against her in a head-to-head, so that'll be tough. Then Sabalenka, of course. How about Pegula? Pegula versus Schneider. Rematch from last week's semi, I think. No, in Washington they played in the semi. And Kostyuk holds 3-1. The winner of this will play the winner of Pegula Schneider, and then on the bottom, like I said, it's going to be Jalavencic, then Korneeva. It's a great up-and-coming player against Goff. And so Saka Fernandez, and then Rybakina Samsonova. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's going to win. I don't have any gut feeling. I don't have a gut feeling for this one. So I'm not going to make a prediction or anything like that. Nikola, you are from Serbia, right? And no, I'm from Croatia. Split, Croatia. As a better second serve from Iga. Here. And making the Kostyuk like stretch for the return. There's a higher likelihood of her missing if she goes hard. There's better placement there from Iga. Pete says Toni Kukoc is the second greatest athlete to come from Split. My favorite basketball player. I wouldn't say my favorite. My favorite was Jordan, but my top three are Jordan, Kukoc, and Rodman. And I was a huge Bulls fan. It's a nice forehand there from Iga, 30 love. I was a huge Bulls fan, and I love Kukoc so much. And I loved Petrovic, Dragan Petrovic. He unfortunately died, but he was better than Kukoc. He was the best Croatian basketball player of all time. But yeah, Croatia has a lot of great athletes outside of football, soccer. You know, there's so many tennis players from Split actually, from one club. There's an unbelievable amount of like top 100 players, top 10 players from one club in Split. It's crazy. So. Yeah, there's a lot of great athletes from that part of the world, you know, former Yugoslavia, let's say. I mean, even Slovenia has the Tour de France GOAT right now. It's from Slovenia. We got great skiers. Serbia has unbelievable basketball players, tennis players. It's just a crazy area. For sports. And for coaching. Some of the best coaches come from there, from Croatia. Because I think that is related. Nice game there from Iga. Holds to love. Wow. All right, guys, hang tight. We'll be right back. We'll do a 10-second break real quick. Is Croatian food similar to Serbian food? It depends. There's a lot of different food in Croatia. Like in Dalmatia, it's more like Mediterranean. There's a lot more fish. But if you go in other parts of Croatia, it's probably more similar to Serbia, although there are differences in the food, slight differences. But I would say it's, of course, somewhat similar. A lot of the meat specialties that they eat in Serbia, we definitely eat those as well. Cevapi, that's popular in Bosnia, Serbia, and Croatia. And many other meat specialties like that. But Croatia, where I'm from in Split, and my mom is from an island called Brač. a lot of fish there, obviously, because it's by the water, you know, by the sea. It's a lot of fish, and more Mediterranean cuisine. AI Love, can you also display the result of the first set? I can't. I'm working on that part. I'll try to, but right now I can't. I'll tell you it. I'll tell you it if you want to know. It was 6-3. Just ask me. 6-3 for Kostyuk. And she lost her serve 3 times in that first set. And she only lost 1 point on the Swiatek serve. Is horse meat popular there? Are you out of your mind? Kidon? What's horse meat? Where do you eat that? No, I've never heard of horse meat in Croatia. How old were you when you left Croatia? I was 9. I was 9 when we moved to Germany. But a strong connection to Croatia. We went back at least once a year ever since then. So it's like I never lost the connection to Croatia. We went back a lot. And currently, when I go to Europe, I go to Croatia. After my dad died, my mom moved back to Croatia. And here's love 30 on the Kostyuk serve. What a turnaround this second set, huh? Iga holding comfortably and continuing to put a lot of pressure on the Kostyuk serve. It's a good first serve there from Marta, 15-30. It would be interesting to see if Iga wins this second set, what will happen in the third. Second serve. And Iga striking the ball way better in the second set. Cleaner, less unforced errors, looks more confident when she's striking the ball. 15-40, 2 breakpoint chances. And just keep in mind, Marta in this entire match has only been able to hold serve 3 times. And there's another break for Iga, up 5-1 in the second set. Wow, guys, what's going on here? What a crazy match. What will happen in the third set if Iga wins the second one? Yes, beef and pork. Okay, yes, of course, of course. Of course. That's an incredible backhand from Kostyuk there. Down the line blast. Wasn't an easy backhand. Maybe a little bit of anger in that backhand too. It's a clean winner, love 15. Kostyuk can swing so incredibly fast. She can hit the ball so hard. The question just is that, is this, I mean, obviously 2 consecutive slam semis. You know, she does have control when she plays like that, but is it possible to play like this and win a Grand Slam? I don't know. I feel like there has to be plan B, plan C. There has to be an ability to change things up. because it's unlikely going to work, this type of power tennis, for 7 matches in a row. I think interestingly on clay, the chances are a little bit higher because of the slower conditions. You can swing a little bit faster, especially when the conditions are slower, when it's like maybe overcast, or even if it's a little bit like muggy, or maybe even a little bit rainy. That's when you can take these huge cuts on the ball. And there's a lot of power players that like those conditions. You know, remember like Söderling against Rafa, or Isner against Rafa at Roland Garros. Even Federer against Rafa at the Hamburg tournament. Federer beat him there in the final. Broke the 81 match win streak. That was very cold conditions, and Federer was just blasting. 1540, two break point chances for Kostyuk. Is this Marta's best season yet? Yes, 100%. This is her best season. This is a career high ranking of number 10 in the world, I think, no? She might have dropped to 11. She's dropped to 11. She was 8. No, she's going to be, hold on a sec, I'll look it up for you. She's going to be 8 after this. Is that possible? I got better look it up, because some of the apps provide wrong data. You got to go on different apps. The one for rankings that you can trust is LTR, Live Tennis Rankings. Swiatek with a strong rally there, backhand down the line. A nice defense there from Kostyuk, gets the ball back in play. And a beautiful cross-court forehand from Swiatek, gets Marta off the court, who tries to hit hard, out of position, misses long. 2 breakpoint chances saved. Swiatek, a different player in this second set. Okay, so Kostyuk is 11 currently, and that is her career high. She was never in the top 10. And she will not go to number 8. She will stay here. If she loses this match, she will stay at 11, which is a career high ranking for her. So yeah, it's the best season so far by far for Marta. 2 semis in a row at slams, and 1 Madrid. Beat Andreeva in the final. Fantastic season so far. Iga with the set point here to take this second set. That's a great rally there from Marta. Saves the first set point, back to deuce. Oh yes, Ren and Tennis Cal, you had the info about her ranking prior to me looking it up. Very nice. But you got a different player now. I feel like there's more trust in her shots. That's just a great return from Kostyuk there. Ball goes very deep, and Iga can't pick it up. Another breakpoint opportunity for Marta. Add out. Strong forehand from Iga, strong backhand. She's just a different player now. You can see that there's more confidence in her shots. She's taking bigger cuts. It looks also more stable when she's hitting. And a breakpoint chance saved. and back to deuce. That's a fantastic question. How did Swiatek improve so much? That's what makes tennis a big mystery sometimes. Let's talk about it if she holds here. Marta overhits the backhand, just a tad long. Set point Iga. Add in. Yeah, I gotta say though, you guys in the chat always answer the poll well. 51% of you thought that Marta was going to take this one. And we're going into the third, so good job. About half-half. Iga with a chance there to put pressure on Kostyuk. And she overhits her backhand. Back to deuce. Do all these live watch-alongs. I love to watch along with you some matches. I'm really enjoying it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. No, it's fun. I mean, I watch the matches anyway because for the last, I think, 3 years, I started in 2023, I think. Yeah, or maybe even 2022 to some extent. I started doing, you know, talking about professional tennis. That's a nice backhand from Iga there. Beautiful point from Iga and another set point. I'll continue with what I was saying in a second, guys. Give me one second. As we got a scoreboard problem. Scoreboard is freaking out right now. They're showing break point. That's a nice forehand there from Kostyuk, inside in winner. So the question was, is it hard to do all these watch-alongs? Yeah, since I started doing this professional tennis analysis, let's say, last 3 years, I watch a tremendous amount of tennis, and I had planned to do the watch-alongs for a while, but the most challenging things was working out the tech behind it. It looks quite simple, but it's actually quite complicated. And I do like it because if I actively watch a match like this by commentating on it, I feel like I learned the match even better, because before sometimes I would watch a match and I would have to rewatch some portions. I would take notes. I've found that in the last 3 months since I started doing this, I'm understanding the matches even better and I'm memorizing the matches better if I'm commenting on them. So the watch-alongs have helped my analysis videos that usually follow these live streams. So I plan to continue to do this. Set point Iga, number 4, as a backhand return error from Kostyuk. And Iga holds, wins the second set 6-1. And let's get back to that one comment. How did Swiatek improve so much? That is the mystery of tennis. Literally 1.1 on her serve in the first set, and she doesn't drop serve in the second set. How do you explain something like that? You really can't. And the answer is it's mental. It's a mental thing. That's what makes tennis so difficult. And now, let's end this poll, and I'm going to ask you guys a question, an obvious question, who you got in the third set, but what is going to happen in the third set? Will Iga continue to dominate the Kostyuk serve because she has been able to dominate the return games to a large extent this match. Even in the first set, she broke 3 times. And if she continues to serve like this, she should be able to win this third set comfortably. But that's, you know, again, tennis is crazy like that. You can flip again. And Iga, the problem with Iga is that now she's stabilized her game. She's playing well. There's like old Iga, but new Iga can show up out of nowhere again, and there can be weird mistakes. I've seen this too. I already mentioned that third set against Svitolina in Indian Wells. Towards the end of the match, it was just Iga could not put the ball on the court. But before we get into the third, guys, real quick, I'll be right back. I need to take a little break, okay? Hang tight. Strong start from Iga there. Love 15. Kostyuk misses a backhand into the net off a forehand down the line approach shot from Iga. Iga putting the pressure on Kostyuk early here. Another backhand into the net from Kostyuk. Love 30. And there's another backhand into the net from Kostyuk. 3 backhands into the net from Kostyuk in this game. Love 40. That was a forehand, I'm sorry. 2 backhands into the net and a forehand into the net. Second serve from Kostyuk here is a big chance for Iga. Iga hitting the ball a lot better. And a wild forehand error from Kostyuk. And it's a break for Iga to love. Up 1-love in the third. Kostyuk's game falling apart here. That's what I was talking about in the beginning. She can play incredibly well, but there's these little segments in matches where she just makes too many mistakes. Iga for sure now has stabilized her game, playing a lot better. A very interesting match. I'm glad I live streamed this one. It's captivating. Not the highest level of play, but very interesting. A very interesting set. Sorry, I was doing something else here. Trying to look up a specific stat. Not very interesting set. Very interesting match. How do you choose which matches to go live with? When sometimes two matches are at the same time, both ATP, WTA, do you go based on your preferences of what most people will want to watch? You know what? I will go with what interests me the most. Like this match interested me the most, and then the Anisimova-Svitolina one would be second on today's. I'll place it above the men's matches, so I'm probably not going to do a men's match today. I thought Fonseca-Ruud was very interesting yesterday. I did that one, and then of course Yala. I mean, those matches are captivating with Yala. It's just it's so fun to watch her on this streak that she's on. Of course, I'm interested in like the big names, you know, like Sinner, Alcaraz. I'll cover that. Djokovic. I love to watch Djokovic matches. So that's how I do it. If there's two matches going on at the same time, I figured out how to do a dual stream. I did one yesterday. And Kostyuk's game completely falling apart here in the third set. Just the one error after another. 40-love. Swiatek about to hold to love here. Iga just not putting enough balls in the court. Hitting too hard, too close to the lines. And Iga rock solid now, also hitting the ball a little bit more aggressively compared to the first set. That's a strong point from Marta there. She needed that. Get some good shots in this rally. Very nice cross-court backhand. There was better margins there from Kostyuk in that rally for sure. Last Svitolina match was so high quality, I didn't see that one. But Svitolina matches are fun. That Rome final, Svitolina Goff, that was an incredible match. Svitolina Goff, Dubai, what was it? Dubai semis, I think. That was also an incredible match. The second set tiebreak was crazy. Yeah, Svitolina matches are fun to watch. A strong tennis there from Kostyuk. Iga had a couple of chances to get the passing shot, but didn't place the ball well enough. And Marta was able to hit some quality volleys. And it's 40-30, from 40-love to 40-30. This could get tricky. Her players caught up to Iga and Arena, and they've lost their aura a little bit, making them more beatable as of late. You could probably include Rybakina in there as well. No, nobody's caught up to them. That's like what people say. No. how can they catch up to them when they were dominating tennis? Like between US Open and Stuttgart, let's say. Not even Stuttgart. Between US Open and Madrid. And there's a mistake from Kostyuk. Iga holds to love. So Sabalenka and Rybakina were dominating tennis between US Open all the way through Stuttgart. They won all the big titles. ATP Finals, US Open, Australian Open, Sunshine Double. And now somehow everybody's caught up to them. Come on. I'm not saying that you're saying that, but that's what people say. It just makes no sense. That's like maybe if you're talking about a time span of like 5 to 10 years, yeah, maybe players can catch up to someone, but not in one season or a couple of seasons. It's just a natural slump that players go through. If you're really, really honest, you'll realize that even the big three had slumps. You can't just continue to play and dominate forever. There's going to be naturally some slumps. Can they get out of it now? Maybe they can. Maybe one of them will take this title. Maybe one of them will take US Open. Maybe it'll be Goff. Maybe it can be Iga again. These are the best players in the world. They're separated from the rest. These are the multiple Grand Slam champions. There's 4 of them. There's Rybakina, Sabalenka, Swiatek, and Goff. And although Pegula is ranked 3rd, a place her behind. Then you have Pegula, you have Andreeva behind this group of 4, the big 4, let's say. So no, those players have not caught up to them. Pegula made a good push this year, but she still has some roadblocks, you know, in the late stages of slams that she needs to solve. She certainly played better in the tournaments below the slam level, Pegula. She could maybe, I think Pegula will eventually win a slam. Or it could be someone we don't think about. I mean, you know, Holinska was in the final of Roland Garros. Could be someone doing well, US Open, that nobody's spending 1 second thinking about. So, you never know. That's what makes the WTA so fun to watch. So love hold from Kostyuk. 2-1. Swiatek 3rd set, up a break. I think mostly that those top players can't always keep up mentally and physically. Yeah, it's impossible. The game is too difficult to be able to do that. You see that even with Sinner, that he's shown this year that he's human. And the guy completed all ATP 1000s this year by winning Rome. Won every single one of them. Won every single one up to this one. Now he's not here, so you can't win every single one in 1 year. And even he had some hiccups this year. So it's like, tennis is tough. Tennis is very tough. Great serve from Iga there to get a free point on the very first point of the service game. That always helps. 15-love. What's up with Andreeva? It's like I didn't see her since the winning RG. I made a video on that yesterday. I dedicated a whole segment to Andreeva in my wrap-up video yesterday. That's another strong rally from Iga there. She's hitting so much better in the second and in the third set. Yes, Random Tennis Gal. It is very tough to stay at the top and continue to win. Only natural to have some ups and downs. Now, the problem is though, if you were once a top player winning big titles and you stop winning titles altogether like Iga, that's different. What do you think Pegula's roadblock has been to prevent her from winning a slam yet? I think US Open is her best chance of 4 slams. I think if you compare her to Goff, Swiatek, Rybakina and Sabalenka, she's not as explosive in her movement as those 4 players. And when she's tested laterally, Pegula will slice the backhand, for example, or even squash out the forehand way more than those 4 players. They're able to hit open stance backhands aggressively from defensive positions. So Pegula not as explosive of an athlete, but ball striking capabilities are similar to those 4 players. I don't think Pegula necessarily has as much power as a Rybakina or a Sabalenka, or even as a Coco, but she has a very good serve, a very underrated serve. A lot of people don't realize how good the Pegula serve is. So the thing what I think will happen eventually, like everything will align, and Pegula will have her Madison Keys moment, and she will take a Grand Slam title. I do believe that will happen one day. She keeps putting herself in these positions that good things will eventually happen, I think. So it's not like these discrepancies between Pegula and the other players are so big that she can't beat them. I do think she can beat them. I actually think Wimbledon is her best chance, not US Open necessarily. I see Pegula as a great grass court player. And I think it's maybe there it can happen, but it's so tough though. I don't know. We'll have to see. She's still got a lot of years ahead of her. There's love 30 for Swiatek. Putting pressure on Kostyuk. Potentially get the double break. One thing about Kostyuk that is concerning is these exchanges with the box that are not productive. It's just a lot of negativity that kind of lingers with her. She's unable to shake it off. Strong forehand from Iga there. Attacking the Kostyuk backhand, down the line backhand from Iga. Iga moving so well right now. And it's love 40, 3 breakpoint chances for Iga. That's a backhand blast from Kostyuk. She can hit that backhand so hard, but you know, it's like, it's sometimes too much of that. If she reduced it by 5%, it could still be an aggressive shot. She can add control to it. A big serve there from Kostyuk, and it's 30-40. 2 breakpoint chances saved. Iga with the down the line return, putting pressure on Kostyuk, who sprays the forehand wide and long, and there's a double break for Swiatek, 4-1, third set. What a turnaround from Iga. You guys remember? After she lost that first set by winning only 1 point on her serve in the entire set, and she was serving first in the second, and the very first point she came to the net with a backhand cross-court approach shot, a very good one, had the entire court open. The volley literally was hit from here, and she hit it wide, missed it. That she was able to recover from that immediately and hold that game. So a lot of credit to Iga to come to reverse what was happening in the first set. And this is exactly what she needs, because this will be a big win for Iga at her current level. She lost to Kostyuk at Roland Garros in straight sets. Kostyuk made 2 semis at the Grand Slam level consecutively. This will be a big win for her. And let's again check the draw and see who she plays. I forgot. Let's see, where's Iga at? She will play against the winner of, oh yeah, that's right, Pegula Schneider. And most likely Pegula, she's 4-0 against Schneider. She beat her last week at Washington, D.C. in the semis. Straight sets. So it's going to be Pegula, Iga in the quarters. And it's going to be tough for Iga. Pegula has been playing well. But of course, you know, if Iga can find a similar level to the one that she displayed in the second and third set, she's going to give herself chances to not only beat Pegula, but also win this whole tournament. Now, at the beginning of this match, I said, I feel like win this one comfortably. Far from comfortable, but turned out to be true in the second and third set up to now. So let's see. They're fixing the net strap. This reminds me of the pickleballers that move the net strap to the side to make the net lower. I don't know if you guys have a pickleball invasion on your tennis courts in your area. We certainly do here. All right, 4-1 Iga, third set. She misses the first serve long by a lot. Second serve. She almost hit Kostyuk with that serve, which would have been a point for Iga if she would hit her directly. That's what happened in doubles. It was Cerundolo was serving and he hit the other guy who was at the net on the other side, hit him in the foot. He was serving to the outside down the tee, hit the guy in the foot, and he won the point. Double fault, love 15. %80 of you thought Iga was going to win the third. Again, the chat undefeated in the polls. Undefeated. The chat has never gotten the poll question wrong so far, I think. Iga's ground strokes have like more juice on them. Or in the second set, they were like a little bit thin in the first set in some rallies. Now, of course, she was overhitting as well in the first set, but I feel like she found her groove now. She's hitting the right way. It's not too aggressive. It's not defensive at all. It's that she's found that sweet spot. She's playing aggressive with a lot of margins. And as I say that, Iga sprays a forehand wide, and it's 15-30. Who's the one coaching Kostyuk? Isn't she a player? I think a former player. Do you think Iala has a bit of a game style similar to Selish? I think so, in the sense that she is such an attacker, such a relentless attacker. I could see some similarities there because Selish was so unbelievably aggressive. And she would take the ball so early, she would hold her ground, she would just rip. And I feel Iala similarities. I mean, Monica was unorthodox with her technique on both the forehand, which was hit with two hands, and her backhand. But of course, she was lefty, just like Iala, so for sure some similarities. But, you know, as much as I appreciate Iala's level and her improvements, I mean, we can't really compare. In my opinion, Monica Seles could have been the greatest tennis player in the history of tennis. She was the female Rafa. And Marta throws her racket. She had Steffi Graf's number, maybe not on grass, but on clay for sure, and on hard court, eventually she would have had the advantage against Graf too. Monica could have collected, I think, between 15 and 25 Grand Slam titles. That's my guesstimate, between 15 and 25. She would have been at the level of a Serena Williams and a Steffi Graf. That's how good Monica was. It's not just the strokes, it's from a mental standpoint. She was so, I mean, I don't want to get into it now, but yeah, for another day. We can talk Monica on another day. $40 all. Iga serving up 2 breaks, 4-1. ATX Super Dave is in the house. How was your hitting session? With the E zone, with the lead in the handle, and hold on, let me get the strings. Sorry, strings are I think it's Solinko, right? I don't forget your strings, but I almost remember your racket setup. Is it Hyper G? Add in. Hyper G at 52 pounds. Strong forehand from Kostyuk there. And Nick says it's because you're closing the polls too late. I can vote now that Iga will win. No, I checked them though. I checked them. And I flip them, I change them. I usually do like 3 or 4. And breakpoint chance for Kostyuk. I appreciate you, K14 Ace or 4C. Oh, Marta had that backhand, but it goes a little bit wide. It was close from going in. But again, a low percentage shot, you know, that's a tough shot to pull off there. And it's such a, just an abbreviated finish there. That's a low percentage shot. She doesn't finish her backhand that much when she goes for these hard shots. Often it's like off hard balls, so she can get a lot of power. But when you don't finish, it's more difficult to control the ball. That's a nice combo there from Iga. Wide serve, forehand down the line winner, and it's add in. I agree, Reba, with Monica. I agree 100%. That was the biggest tragedy ever. Tungsten putty in the handle. Nice. Nice, Super Dave. I like that. One of my friends that I grew up in Germany, he had that injection in the handle too. It makes it more maneuverable. It makes sense for certain players. And it's a big, heavy serve from Iga. She's able to hold 5-1 in the third set. You guys remember those soft, well, I don't think they were that soft actually, but they were just like centrally placed kick serves from Iga in the first set, and Marta was just completely unloading on the return and putting Iga under a tremendous amount of pressure. Iga definitely serving better right from that first game in the second set. In fact, I don't think she's lost serve since then. I have to check. No, I don't think so. Hold on, let me look. She didn't lose serve in the second set. And in the third, no, she has not lost serve. She has not lost serve since the first set, Iga. Big turnaround. This is very impressive, and this is exactly what the doctor prescribed for Iga. So coming through a match like this will give a lot of confidence. And she'll have another tough one potentially against Pegula, where she'll have to do a similar thing. But I want to preview that one before Pegula beats Schneider, out of the respect for Schneider, because Schneider is a fantastic player too. Semi-finalist at Roland Garros. Like, you got to give her, even though she's 0-4 against Pegula, you got to give her the respect, and she can certainly, you know, I don't think she'll beat Pegula, but she can beat Pegula, you know what I mean? I don't think it's fair to preview a match before matches have been played out. Very strong forehand from Marta there. Ooh, she almost missed that one. Two-handed backhand overhead from Marta. Wow. That's a video that I want to make. I haven't made that one yet. It's a backhand overhead video. I need to make that. And this shot, I'm seeing it more and more. It's the two-handed backhand overhead. Take a look at this. Two-handed backhand overhead winner from Marta Kostyuk. I've discussed backhand overheads. I have a course on the overhead. I have a tutorial in that course on the overhead. And I do discuss the backhand overhead as well. But I have not done it on YouTube yet. I will, though. And nice to see positive body language from Kostyuk there with the fist bump. That's a very nice serve. That's 40-15. Such good hitting from Iga, just ripping into the corners, one corner to the other. But great defense from Marta there. And she's able to hold. Iga will serve for the match, up 5-2 in the third. Dave thinks that Schneider will beat Pegula. I don't know if Pegula may be a little bit tired. She's played a lot of matches. But I think Jesse will come through that one. Can the average 5 to 4 player benefit more from watching WTA player technique? Not that it's less advanced, but seems more accessible. Look, there are fundamentals that both the top ATP players and the top WTA players have in common. Those are the things that everybody should develop. A lot of the things that are taught are stylistic things, you know, and that's something that you shouldn't copy. You should develop your own style. So if you're talking specifically about forehand, backhand, I mean, you know, could make a hour-long video about that, what the differences are in style versus fundamentals. But when it comes to the serve and the forehand to some extent, although the forehand is changing on the WTA Tour, it's getting heavier and heavier. Generally, forehands at the amateur level are less heavy. They're more flat. But that used to be true on the WTA Tour. Forehands were more flat than compared to the ATP, and they still are more flat compared to the ATP. But they're getting heavier on the WTA Tour. Now on the serve, the female players use more natural ways to generate power, and I made a great video on this on my YouTube channel. I forget the exact title, but if you type in intuitive tennis WTA serves, you'll find it. And it's things like a pinpoint stance, a little bit higher toss, a lag, you know, certain things that you can do, you know, in your rhythm and your technique, basically in your prep, things that can help you out where the power is easy to come by, you know. Unfortunately, what's often promoted by many people are these service motions that are not so easy to pull off. You know, like a quick serve motion or something like that, like Terence Atman or something, or Casper Ruud. Everybody's in awe of that, always points it out. They put it slow-mo and they talk about it, how this is the best thing they've ever seen. But yet there's less than a handful of players on the ATP Tour that serve like that in the top 100. And it's literally impossible to copy at the amateur level unless it's something that's naturally there for a player that's always, player can always execute a serve like that. That's one example of like copying certain ATP techniques could be problematic. But again, this is a kind of a broad topic and would require more discussion, and I've made many videos on this. You can type in whatever your question is and put intuitive tennis in front of it, and you'll find it. There's a lot of videos on these type of subjects. Iga 40-15 match point. A nice wide serve, a good return from Kostyuk there. Iga goes cross court, and a very strong cross court backhand by Kostyuk. Iga keeping the ball in play. She's so quick. Iga gets to those corner balls so fast. She definitely has not lost a step, that I can tell you, Iga. Still an incredible defender, but Kostyuk hits the ball shorter and Iga doesn't get up to it quickly enough, misses the slice. 40-30. 2 match points saved by Kostyuk. From 40-love to 40-30. And a backhand gets stuck right at the top of the net for Iga. And it's 40-all. 3 match points saved, 3 consecutive match points. Could this be nerves? I wouldn't think so at 5-2 with a double break, but you never know. Drop shot from Kostyuk. Iga gets there quick, goes down the line with her backhand. Backhand swing volley. Marta tries to pass with her backhand. Open stance. She misses wide. And another match point for Iga. Iga missed the backhand like this in the first set, where Kostyuk had hit a drop shot. It was a crucial point. It was game point, I think, in the first set on the Kostyuk serve. And Iga missed the cross-court backhand off a poor drop shot from Kostyuk, and Kostyuk came into the net off of it. So you see the difference. Like, Iga is making these type of shots now. Like, she raised her level big time in the second and third set, Iga. Having said that, she overhits that half-court backhand and can't convert match point number 4. And we're back to deuce. Wow. That was a backhand that looked tight to me. She looked a little bit cramped. She steered it long. And that's maybe the most insane return I've seen today. Absolute blast from Kostyuk. That return was so fast, where she hit a winner through Iga, actually. Iga was standing right here, and the ball bounced here, like this. It bounced here right next to Iga, but it was so fast. It was so fast that Iga couldn't react to it. Unbelievable. Iga was like right here, right next to the ball. She still couldn't get to it. Kostyuk can hit the ball so hard, it's insane. And she hit a really strong backhand, very deep, got a looper ball back, at the forehand, chance to blast with the forehand, but the ball gets stuck at the top of the net. And we're back to deuce. Can Marta turn it around? I don't think so. As a match point number 5 for Iga. Good first serve from Iga, down the line backhand, cross-court forehand, Marta squash shot, Iga forehand slice approach, backhand volley goes long from Iga. That approach shot looked very tentative from Iga. That was a comfortable pass for Marta. Iga was so careful with that forehand slice approach. She pushed that thing. And I felt like she had plenty of time to come in there and lift that thing. That slice was so soft. And that passing shot was ripped by Kostyuk. Kostyuk can rip. Kostyuk with some insane forehand returns right now. Those things are hitting the back of the line. This time Iga gets it back in play, and Kostyuk follows up with another forehand blast inside out. She's absolutely ripping the ball right now. Break point chance number 2 for Kostyuk. Second serve from Iga. See if she trusts her serve here, if she goes a little bit more aggressive. She does. It's a great second serve from Iga. And Iga goes cross-court with the backhand and makes it. Hits it close to the line. A very aggressive shot from Iga. That was a good-looking point there from Iga down break point. Hit a lot of these shots with confidence, starting with that second serve. Of course, you know, if I want to be really honest, that backhand was on the line. It went in. I mean, she hit it really well. But what would I have said if she missed it by like this much? She went too close to the line. I don't know. That's tennis can be sometimes. It fall in the category of easier said than done, you know. Second serve here. Another strong second serve from Iga makes Marta stretch for that return. That second serve was placed exceptionally well. Right here, Iga placed it, and Marta stretched on the 2 and a backhand return and pushed it long. Match point number 6, right? Yes, match point number 6 for Iga Swiatek. Can she get a first serve in right here? No, she can't. Second serve again. Good second serve there, and Marta hits the backhand return into the net. Iga pumps herself up. She's pumped to get this win over Kostyuk. This is a huge victory for Iga. I'll be honest, I did not think that Iga was going to pull this one out. I'll be honest with you. I did not think Iga was going to pull this one out. I thought that Kostyuk was going to raise her game actually after that first set, and I wasn't sure that Iga was going to be able to come out of that slump because that first set was so crazy. Again, 3 love breaks for Kostyuk and 115 break. Not a single hold of serve for Kostyuk. Not even like 1.1 in the entire set on her serve. Started the second set in the very first game with a open court volley miss, and was able to get through that game, and then step by step got her teeth into this match and started playing well. Started trusting her ground strokes. She actually played quite well for the rest of the match. At the same time, Kostyuk's game fell apart. She was hitting the ball very hard and making a lot of mistakes. Continued to struggle on her serve a lot. She also got broken 3 times in the first set despite winning at 6-3, and was only able to hold 3 times for the rest of the match. So 6 service holds for the whole match for Kostyuk. That's not enough to beat Iga. So this is a very important victory for Iga, but she'll have to build her game back up to where it once was, 1 match at a time. It's got to be step by step. And that's how you build confidence. If she takes out Pegula, it's a great result, making the semis of a WTA 1000. And she can go from there, just 1 step at a time. She's on the top half of the draw, so she would probably play maybe Sabalenka. Who knows who's going to come through up there. So it's going to be such an interesting tournament. A lot of great matches, and we're going to cover a lot of them, guys. So let's see. I might do Svitolina and Nisimova tonight, okay? I might do that one. So I'll see you guys then. Let me go through the chat a little bit, see if there's anything going on that's interesting. When would Ayala and Pegula meet for a rematch? In the final, I think, yeah. Would have to be in the final. It would have to be in the final, Dave. They're on opposite halves. Whoa. They are on opposite halves. All right, guys. Nothing really going on in the chat. I'm going to let you guys go. And I'll catch you on the next one, okay? Don't forget to subscribe to Intuitive Tennis. Hit like on this one. It'll help it regardless, because all these live streams go up as a regular upload once they're done. So like this video, subscribe to Intuitive Tennis, subscribe to Intuitive Tennis Premium, click on the Nightbot links, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, take care.